Hey, hey, hey. It's your girl, Inga 71, aka Ginger Snaps. How y'all doing out there? All right, everybody. Hey, it's your girl, Ginger Snaps. I just wanted to come through. Hope everybody is having a wonderful day and a wonderful evening. But I just wanted to come through because I haven't had a chance to give my own thoughts and opinions on BMF season 3, episode 8, titled Code Red. I know everyone has been on other people's pages and got their thoughts and opinions, but I said, well, I didn't get a chance to drop my own video. So I said, just let me go ahead and put something out because I'm sure y'all want to hear what Ginger Snaps has to say and my commentary. So let's get into it. Okay. All right. So let's see here. So we have um we back in the ATL. We Here we go. Okay, so we back in the ATL and Meech is what's that, the Platinum Palace, and we got Glock and Angel. And so Angel has, switched on over to the other side, and she is now with Glock, and she up there dancing and popping it and throwing it all up on Glock, you know. And I'm not sure how I feel about Angel right now, but because she definitely wasn't. I definitely was upset with her a couple of episodes ago, but we shall see. Maybe my thoughts about her may change, as the episodes go on. So we shall see. But Meech is watching and he's looking at Angel. He probably saying, look at this bitch. After I took her in, fed her, and put her up in my house and protected her, and she done switched over to the dark side, and now she with this fool. Um, but you know, like I said, Angel, she might end up being an asset to Meech. So I'm gonna give her a pass this particular time. We shall see. And so he's sitting there talking to Duffy, and you know, and just talking about everything that's going down with Glock, um, and the plans that they have trying to with Remy and all that. So then we get a chance to meet the new crew, and these are the new guys that Duffy has found, and we shall see whether or not they're going to be an asset. I don't know anyone's name yet because we don't know whether or not they're going to even last long or what type of asset they're going to be. But they're here and enjoying the fruits of Meech's labor. And of course, Meech was throwing money up in the air, and all the chicks is come running. You know, they running and falling and tripping over their stripper shoes trying to get the money. And this chick here, I don't know her name, but she thinking that she gonna be the next Angel. She gonna take Angel's place. She goes and give Meech a BJ, and but Meech wasn't falling for it, and this thing backfired in her face. She went down on her knees, and she thinking that maybe if I talk it to his might, his man muscle, that she gonna be the next Angel and be taken care of. But Meech wasn't falling for it, so forget her. So then we back in Detroit, and we with Terry and Hoops. And of course, if I get anybody's name wrong, y'all, please tell me. Leave me a comment because I'm terrible at remembering people's names, and I'm trying to do better with that. So so we got Terry and Hoops. They meeting at Terry's restaurant, his soul food restaurant, and they discussing Henry, talking about how Henry owes money to the Chaldeans, and she's not able to pay her plug. And then Terry also figures out that Henry is the one that took Peaches out. Now, I think that Peaches might be related to the Chaldeans, but I'm not positive. So y'all please let me know if I'm wrong or right about that. But Terry figured out that Henrietta is the one that took out Peaches. And so um and Terry does have a good plan, because if he can get the Chaldeans to well, he already got all the dealers in the street to stop doing business with her. And if he can get the Chaldeans to to stop fooling with her too, that'll really just totally ice her out. And right now she don't have the money. At this point right now, she don't have the money to even pay her plug. So she's in bad shape. Um so then Terry Terry's at the restaurant, and we got this crooked cop, Vince. He stops by to harass Terry. He threatens him, talking about contacting the RS. And so now Terry's got to make sure that his books all in order and everything got to be, clean. Because this dude here, he's just a clown. There's this Vince, he's a clown, and he's just trying to start some trouble. I don't think we're done with Vince. He's going to probably be around for a minute, but you can tell that he's going to definitely cause some trouble and be a thorn in Terry's ass. Okay. Um, but I blame Markeisha for bringing him around, because we didn't need Vince, and she brought him around just to stir up some mess, you know. So we want to see that how that's going to all play out. Um, okay, so Meech is sitting in they finished hanging out at the club. Meech sitting in his car, smoking on a blunt, and he sees the Red Dogs. And the Red Dogs is out there harassing this dude outside the strip club. The Red Dogs have just been a major problem. And be honest with you, I'll be glad to be done with the Red Dogs, and I'll be glad if somebody definitely takes all of them out, especially that one guy, the main leader, because he's just an asshole. And so, you know, Meech is going to come up with a plan to try to get around these Red Dogs, but I know it's not going to be easy. So he's talking to Duffy. He's back at his house. Meech is back at his home, and he's talking to Duffy, about the cops, and then talking about how they trying to make drug crimes federal. And and that's going to be a big problem. These are not just local crimes. They starting to make these drug crimes federal around this time frame in the 90s, and people was getting big numbers going to prison for 10 or more years. So but he's going to try to come up with a plan about that. He was talking about all the raids that happened in the ATL, St. Louis, and all the heat that's going down in Detroit. So it's just a lot right now, and I'm sure he's cooking up something to try to figure this out, because that's the last thing they need is to get busted right now. This is just the beginning and the early parts of the whole BMF family. So the whole saga. So it's too early for everybody to get busted right now. So then we switch over to we're back in Detroit. We switch over to Lucille, Lwanda, Nicole. They're having Bible study with the pastor. And y'all don't forgot the pastor's name, so please leave me a message and let me know what the pastor's name is. But they having a meeting of Bible study with a group of ladies at Lucille's home. The pastor talking about how she has regrets because she laid down with someone that was not her husband and had a baby. So to me, it sounds like the pastor had an affair, and maybe she was like the side chick, back in the day. She said she was ostracized by her family and by her church, you know, and so that really hit home for Lucille and Lwanda. That really hit home with them. And Nicole is listening too, but because she's young and hasn't experienced these things yet, it probably hasn't hit home for her. But Lwanda and Lucille definitely can understand how it feels to have regrets, because they end up, having children, and probably didn't have and probably had children by somebody that they didn't really want to have kids with, and especially with in Lwanda situation, you know what I'm saying? Um, so anyway, that I think it just hit home. Lwanda really felt it. She started tearing up, and so I think it's going to really change her life. We're gonna see a change in Lwanda. Um, wait a minute, I just wanted to say something. Oh yeah, and I also wanted to say Lwanda finally, she finally started listening, and I'm hoping that she really leaves Terry alone and focus on herself. She talked about going to cosmetology school to do hair, and Lwanda did say, "To God be the glory." You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, she wakes up and realize. Well, I think she by now she had the second baby. She definitely realizes that Terry don't want her, so she just she's moving on. So anyway, moving on. So Meech is sitting down to talk to Claude, and Claude he just is stupid. I mean, he just as dumb as a bag of rocks. So Meech meets up with Claude. Claude is working with the other crews to try to get Remy out, and so that everybody can work with Meech. And Claude says everyone hears. He said everyone hears Meech's vision for a partnership, and once they taste the product, no, well, he's saying once everyone hears Meech's vision and partnership and taste the product, that they'll have a better chance of Remy, moving Remy out and getting Glock out. So this is what Claude is predicting. He hasn't even met with everyone yet, but he is anticipating that once everyone hears the plan, that they'll work with Meech. So, well, we know how that turned out. But anyway, this is where we are right now. So we got Bryant. Here we go, bald head ass Bryant. He's drinking, he's depressed. And I can understand, as a parent, I don't wish a parent losing their child at all. I mean, he lost his son, he lost his job, he feeling sorry for himself. And so I'll give him a little bit of grace right here. But all of this is his fault. All of this is on Bryant. And he calls this. He wasn't really there for his son. He's so busy running around Detroit trying to take the Flannery brothers down that he wasn't focusing on the things that was going on with his son, you know? And so a lot of things, all of this really is on him. Now, little Kevin dying, um, that was really on Henrietta, but everything that led up to that is on Bryant. And so he's sitting there drinking. He's sitting in front of Kevin's door. He can't even let himself go into the room. I mean, he's just a hot mess. He probably ain't took no shower, no bath in days. Okay. The house is all tore up, bottles of liquor and food all over the place. He ain't cleaned up. So Jen comes over. She's banging on the door. She said, "Brian, I know you in there. Let me in. Let me in." So she goes in, and he opens the door. She goes in, and she sees that Brian is a hot mess. Brian is, like I said, still blaming Meech and Terry about Kevin, even though They ain't have nothing to do with Kevin. They nothing at all. They absolutely don't. They don't even know Kevin. They ain't have nothing to do with Kevin. This is all Bryant and Henry's fault, like I said, and he needs to take accountability. And I don't know when he will ever do it. Um, but Jen tells Bryant to clean himself up, go wash your funky tail, because they are going to try to take down Henry and BMF. And she said, we got work to do. So go get yourself cleaned up. Okay. So Jen and Bryant, they stake out Tyson. They stake out Tyson, which is Henry's cousin. And in my opinion, Tyson is likely the one that took the protection away from Kevin. Um, and that's why Kevin was assaulted, which made him actually take his own life. And so Brian is definitely gonna get revenge on this. And so and Brian is trying to warn Jen that she needs to be careful with trying to, go undercover dealing with Henry. But Jen doesn't listen. Jen tells him, you deal with Tyson and I'm gonna deal with Henry. And but she doesn't listen. And we gonna see how that all plays out. I don't think it's a good plan. Um, no backup, no protection. I don't think it's gonna go good for her. But we shall see. Okay. And then Terry meets with Sam, about he meet with him about the have a sit down with the Chaldeans, but he also talks with him get this lottery scam going on. So um I don't think this lottery scam is going to really work out. And he did not discuss this with Meech. And I know he's running things in Detroit, but he should still run his past his brother, because I just don't think this gonna work out. I don't know. I could be wrong. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all think this gonna be a good plan? Because I mean, it sounds good right now, but I think it's gonna be some hiccups down the road with that. Okay, so Lucille tells the pastor that she is waiting on the Lord to give her a decision about being an associate pastor. So she waiting on a sign from the Lord. Lucille, I mean, she just doing too much right now. So I don't know what sign she waiting on. Um, she need to be working on her marriage, and then maybe the sign will come. But anyway, Lwanda is finally going to move on from Terry and get her life together. Like I said earlier, she said she's gonna go to cosmetology school, get her license, and she gonna be doing people's hair. And she need to open and look, and she need to tell Terry, hey, give me the money so I can open up my own beauty salon. So I can be doing hair, nails, and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's the least Terry could do. That's what she should do. He's definitely going to take care of his kids. That's a given. But he needs to give her the bread to open up her own beauty salon once she get her license. So I hope that happens. I hope by the next season we see her have her license and get a shop going and making her own money, and the hell with Terry, and she can be her a nice man and move on with her life. Okay, I know I just said too much, and I'm just saying this is what I think. Okay, this not in the script. This is just Ginger Snap's thoughts. Okay. So well, we're gonna see how that plays out too. Okay. So then my man Charles, he's working so hard trying to put his family back together. Yes, he made a mistake, y'all, and I'm not rehashing that. He did something that was foul and funky, and he made a mistake. But I'm not rehashing that again. I'm just saying that you have to give a brother a chance. Because a lot of these dudes mess up and they don't even try to fix it. They just keep on messing up and messing up. Charles is a good man and he is trying to fix his situation. So he comes home and he's so happy, and he tells Lucille that got um he just got a paying music gig, and that he gonna be, you know, playing I don't know, it's a keyboard or something he was playing with this band. And he asked Lucille to come and hear him play. And this, I'm gonna be nice because I was gonna say something else. But this lady, Lucille, she had the nerve to say, "Can I ask Dr. Maurice? Can he come too?" And I said, Lucille, you is pure trash right now at this point. You know, um, I know that she might have been joking, but I ain't find it funny. And Lucille, I'm about to throw you in the furnace, okay? You about to be in the flames in a few minutes if you don't stop it. I'm trying to still hang in there with you, girl, but you doing too much. You keep it up, and you will. It might be a video with you going in the flames. Okay, so I'm happy for Charles that he got working on his music and trying to do something, and hopefully it turns into something. So we got Miss Little Nicole, Little Nikki. She wear Breeze, and now Breeze and wrote her a note. Y'all know those notes back in the day. Will you be my girlfriend? Yes, no, maybe so. Um, you know, I don't know if they still do that now, but I know back in my time, and I know I'm sounding like I'm super old, but back in my day, that's what the boys used to do, write you a little note. And so now they girlfriend and boyfriend. So Terry, they was parked in front of a little convenience store, and Terry happens to see them out in the car, and he goes and snatches her out the car and embarrasses her. And as a big brother, he did the right thing, because one thing, he doesn't want Nicole to end up with a baby and get her life all messed up the way Meech and Terry have done, having these children and whatnot. So, and it's different when the girl get pregnant. She brings the problem home. The boys get the girls pregnant and they're going on about their business. But you know, he did the right thing as a big brother. So I appreciate Terry for that. I think Breeze might be a nice kid, but we gotta see. Hopefully Nikki don't get herself pregnant. Hopefully everything stays on the up and up with her. They just be girlfriend, boyfriend, and enjoy each other's company. But I know how it was when I was about 14 years old. You start getting a little hot and heavy with the boys, it goes into something else. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. Okay, so Meech and Duffy, they meet up with the mechanic that tries to figure out a way how they can hide the bricks in the car door, so they can hide them from the cops and the red dogs. Okay. Well, I guess the red dogs are cops, but anyway, they try to they trying to figure out a way how to do that, and they gonna come up with a plan and to see if it worked. They're gonna test it out with one of the youngins, one of the new guys in the crew, and they're gonna see how it works. So okay, so now here we got dumb dumbest rocks Claude. He is having a meeting with the other dealers to get everyone on board to work with Meech, and so they can get rid of Remy and go behind Remy's back and try to get and push him out and get rid of him. Well, Claude is so stupid. He has the meeting right there where Remy could find out about it. He could hear about it. He probably was hiding behind the door and heard the whole thing. I mean, and somebody might have even told him about it. We don't know. But this dude was just dumb. He wasn't smart at hiding and having the meeting somewhere. They should have had the meeting like out in the middle somewhere, like far, out in the middle of the woods or somewhere where ain't nobody gonna see him and nobody gonna find out. Well, Remy did find out. Like I said, he could have been hiding behind the door, and he comes in and finds out about the meeting. That they found out that Claude was going behind his back, and he realizes that Claude is a snake. And so Remy then cuts off Claude's tongue or his lips or both. He then cut his tongue and his lips off. And then he stabs the knife in his throat. Okay, he done he done cut him off at the head. Okay, I'm trying to say that in a nice way. So Claude is gone, y'all. R.I.P. Stupid. I mean, he was just dumb. Rest in peace. I'm not usually I try to do the repass for these people, but I'm not doing the repass and nothing for Claude. I mean, let somebody else do it. I'm you know let somebody else pay make the pound cake and the potato salad for the repass because I'm not doing it because Claude was just dumb. He don't deserve a repass. Okay, so moving on from that. So we got the Red Dogs. They stop and harass one of Meech's guys. That's the little young guy that I was talking about. Um, but Meech is always thinking and moving about 10 steps ahead. So he puts baking soda in the car door instead of the cocoa. Which is hidden in the compartment door, the side door of the car. And because he knew that they was gonna stop him. And so they decide, well, let me go ahead and switch it up, put some baking soda in there and 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 see what happens. So, but these guys are just these it's one lady, the Asian guy, and this other brother. And I am sick of them, and especially this brother. I mean, he is so nasty. I'm ready for somebody to take him down. I'm ready for somebody to find some information on him or something to get him fired. We are done with him. Okay. Um, okay, so Tyson, now we switch over to Henrietta. So Tyson tells Henrietta that the Caldines, I said Claudine, Lord have mercy, sorry y'all. The Caldines, which is the plug, keeps calling and looking for their money. The money that she owes because she, she got all the product from them, but she wasn't able to sell it because all the guys just switched over and they on Terry's side. And so she owes them people the money. They gave her the work, now she got to pay them back, and she ain't had the money. And well, Henrietta's uncle, I don't know his name. Y'all tell me in the comments what his name is. But Henry's uncle shows up with a bag full of money, a big old satchel of money. Um, and this the money that Henry owes, so she could pay her debt because they said her father Blaze has cut her off. And they all collectively are saying F Blaze, F your father, we don't need him, he turned his back on you, blase blase. And I am worried for Blaze because if she's feeling this way and the uncle and the cousin feel like the father has turned the back on her and not protecting her, they might take Blaze out. And I know a lot of people say they don't want to see that because they tired of seeing where the children take out the parent. But it's all part of the game. There's all part of this is what happens. I mean, really, Blaze ain't really done nothing special. So he really can't go. I thought he was gonna be a force and he was gonna really come in here and do some stuff. But really he hasn't done nothing. So I mean, we don't need people just being here for no reason. So he definitely could go. So I'm not gonna be upset if she take him out. I just want her to go. It's time for Henrietta to get the hell on out of here. Okay, that's just in my opinion. All right. So what we got going on here now? So we got Terry giving his daddy Charles a haircut, and he's telling him about he got the gig and he gonna be playing in this, in this band, and he tells Terry that he's trying real hard to put his family back together, but Dr. Maurice is in the way, and he said he just can't compete with him because he has more money and got it going on. At least that's what we think, but we really don't know nothing about this Dr. Maurice. And but Terry gives Charles money so he could show Lucille, the mama, a good time. Because well, he asked him if you need. Charles did ask Terry, if you need any help with the restaurant. And he said, well, I'll give you a cash advance. And he gave him a little stack of money. I don't know how much it was. I'm sure it was $1,000 at least at a minimum. Could be more. But he gave him some money so he can show his mom a good time. So, because Charles is really trying, but Lucille is just not trying to she's trying to make Charles suffer at this point. Okay. So the Red Dogs, they head over to Techwood and they burst in these people's they burst into different people's houses, tearing the doors off, ripping up the furniture, just tearing the whole place up, just harassing the some of these innocent residents. Okay, now maybe some of the people might be dirty, but some of the people were just innocent residents who just living their life and mind their business, and they come kicking the doors in and tearing the place up, harassing these people out here looking for the drugs. And one of the houses that they went to was Little Milton's house. Remember Little Milton who got his life snuffed out? Well, it's his dad. And they tore it's his dad's house. And they busted in there and tore the whole place up, ripping the place up. And these I'm telling you, these Red Dogs got to go. They doing way too much, and I've had about enough of them. Okay. So then now we got Glock. He's sitting in his car with Angel, and he's talking in Creole because he's Haitian. Angel's probably not really understanding everything that he's said, but she did understand enough to know that she needs to warn Meech that something bad is about to take place. So this is why I said I'm gonna give her a little pass, because she is going to try to help Meech, a little bit. Okay. Um, and so something is going to come Meech's way, and thanks to Angel, Meech got the heads up. So now they at the gambling spot, the bar, and Terry meets up with Markeisha, aka Markuga. Um, but he's so stupid that he's telling her the whole plan about the lottery scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't tell her nothing. She should just be your little side piece, your little woman you got on, have on your hip. But you do somebody you just doing your thing with, but you don't tell her nothing. But I don't trust her. I do not trust her. But we shall see. But that dirty cop bitch shows up again, thanks to Mark Cougar, because she the one who even brought him around in the first place. So Vince shows up. But Terry did put him in his place, and Terry embarrassed him in front of Mark Cougar. So I don't know what's gonna happen with this guy, but I don't think he ran away. I mean, he walked off, not ran, but he walked off. But I don't think this gonna last. We're gonna see him. So I don't know. I think Terry needs to not take it lightly with this guy. He need to neutralize this guy in some type of shape, form, or fashion soon, because this guy gonna keep coming around. Okay, so Meech is back at the club, and he telling the crew everything is on pause right now until he comes up with a better way to move the product. Okay, Meech tells Duffy that if Claude comes through tonight, that the ATL is ours. Okay, he doesn't know yet that Claude has been taken out. And here we got these two hoes. I don't know their name, and I don't really need to know their name. If y'all want to tell me, that's fine. But I just call them the two hoes. We got these two hoes from the strip club. They come up to Meech, asking for him to meet them at the hotel down the street, because they were trying to get their little freak on. They trying to have one of their little ditty parties with Meech, a little party, and do their thing. So, but these two hoes are not to be trusted, and we gonna see what's gonna happen with them. Okay, and Charles, he's with the band, and they jamming. I mean, the girl is singing. At first, y'all, I thought this was Sister Riley, but I realized it's not her. It's a different lady. I don't know who she is. It's the lady singing the band, but but Charles is jamming. They having a good time. And we got Lucille. She finally supporting her man and not disrespecting him and tearing him down. So she's sitting there, and I really thought that Dr. Maurice was going to show his stupid face. I thought he was going to come around that corner, stand next to Lucille, and that would have really pissed me off because I'm ready for Charles to put hands and feet on Dr. Maurice at this point. Um, but Charles is let me see, Charles is pleading his case to Lucille because saying that he is trying to put his marriage back together, you know, but I don't know if Lucille is. I mean, yeah, they might have some financial problems, and they had things that that was going on before the whole Mabel situation. But Charles was still a good man, and marriages go through ups and downs. Um, but now at this point, now she just being spiteful, and she really just sticking it to him. So anyway, I hope they work it out. I want them to work it out, but I don't want Charles to keep being stupid. You know, if she's not gonna if she's not gonna give him a chance, then he just need to move on. But one way or another, I'm ready for her to make a decision one way or the other. You know. Okay, so um, we got Jen who's playing this dumb game, and she is you know meeting up with Henrietta, I'm call her what her name is, Henrietta, and that flirting with her and all this kind of stuff. And even at one point, Jen reached over and kissed her, and I don't know, for some reason or another, I really think that Jen might be falling for her. Jen just might be falling for her. So this is the one time where we see Henrietta actually let her head down, no pun intended, let her head down and sort of be vulnerable with Jen. So she might be feeling Jen too. But I think this whole thing is gonna backfire on Jen, and Jen might be having her memorial service at the Chinese restaurant. So I'm not feeling confident with Jen, but if it's time for her to go, it's time for her to go because eh, this is a dumb plan, and I just see it blowing up in her face. I really do. So okay, so then back at the club again, and Remy, no, okay, they back at the club. They was trying, they partying, go have some drinks and whatnot, and they getting some ice and out the ice bucket, and they see Claude's head up in there, and I was like, hey. Another one bites the dust. I mean, Claude was dumb as a box of rocks. So um, I ain't saying he deserved it, but I'm just saying that we saw this coming. We saw this. We saw that this was gonna go left. Okay, we saw how it was gonna go. And Remy came up to him and you know throwing it in his face, and then he told Remy and I might be paraphrasing things, but he told him basically like, well, Meech told Remy that, you know, that was a stupid move you made. That was dumb. And then outside the club, over here we got Angel, meeting up. She, I'm sure she had to sneak and do this, but she met up with Meech and to tell him to warn him that something bad is about to happen, and that he needs to be careful and keep his head on a swivel. So, and he appreciated that, and she told him I'm heading down to Miami. So, and we're gonna see later on next episode they're gonna be heading to Miami. So, okay, so we got Terry meeting up with the he finally got to sit down meeting with the Sam hooked it up. He got to sit down meeting with the Chaldeans, and the Chaldeans decided to go ahead and honor Terry's wishes and do business with him and and cut that, totally cut everything off from Henry. So Henry now is screwed. And, she totally screwed. So she ain't got no plug and she ain't got no workers, So Um, I don't know what Henrietta gonna be doing, but Terry did make some good moves in this particular episode. Only bad move he made was still being with Mark Cougar and telling Mark Cougar the whole plan of everything. But otherwise, he made good moves, good decisions. Okay, okay. So Terry was, I mean, not Terry. I'm sorry. Meech is at the hotel, and he was getting his freak on with the two girls, the two hoes, and this whole thing was a setup. Um, these two hoes obviously are working with Glock and set this up for Terry to. I mean, I keep saying Terry. Excuse me, y'all. These two hoes are working with Glock and set it up for Meech to, to distract Meech so that he have his guard down and have his pants around his ankles, not paying no attention while Glock's main man coming in, and he was able to get right on in there. He had the key or able to get into the door, and just came on in there, and it was a scuffle. So she got shot in her silicone titties, and they was scuffling back and forward, and there was a whole lot of pow 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 pow, pew 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 pew, and the bottom line, Glock's man went flying out the window. It was like a whole Steven Seagal movie up in there, and he went flying out the window and crashed on top of the car, and you see all the blood, and he gone. So wait till he finds out about that. Let me see if I can show y'all a little bit. Amen, y'all. He bought that on himself. Okay, y'all. He bought that on himself. So he should, that was a stupid plan. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess it would have been a good plan had it was executed on Glock's side, but it didn't work out because, like I said, Meech is always he's always ready. He always got he always got the pow pow right there, and he was ready. So Glock's man's gone. Wait till Glock find out his main man is gone. Okay, so back at Meech's house, he talking to Duffy, and they was talking about the whole thing, and he said, "Yeah, I think them hoes might have set me up, you know." And Glock had been following him. Glock's man was following him, and probably had them girls set him up. So they was talking about that, and so that's, I mean, and we know that that's probably what happened. We know we almost confident that that's what happened. Whole thing was a setup. Okay, and so at the end, to wrap this up, we got I didn't get the pictures, y'all, but I got a little snippet of the video to show y'all. But at the end, we got bald head ass Bryant, and he decided he gonna get revenge on Tyson. Okay, he got stone drunk, drinking some hen dog, and he got the courage, and he put hands and feet, a two piece and a biscuit, and the side of red beans and rice on Tyson. Okay, let's see if we can get that here. Let me see. Hold on one second. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Wait a minute. Your girl's screwing up over here. Wait a minute. Okay. Y'all, I hope he is gone. I hope I hope Tyson is gone. I hope he is gone. Yeah, and Henrietta, she gonna be, man. She already done lost her other cousin Twan. Now Tyson is really her right hand man. Woo, she gonna be mad, but I don't feel sorry for her. I feel like take her down, take everything down from Henrietta. Let her lose it all. And then hopefully we getting ready to go into episode 9. Hopefully we can get rid of her. Okay. I know most of us have predicted by 9 or 10 she might be gone. I hope so. I think it might they're gonna drag it out to the end. I think maybe episode 10, Henrietta gonna be gone. And I really hope so. But I also predict that Jen's gonna be gone first. But I could be totally wrong on anything I'm saying. Okay. This is just the what to say across my banner. These are just my thoughts and opinions. Okay. Allegedly. I don't know nothing. I didn't write the script. They didn't call me and ask me my opinion. So this is just my thoughts. And so, leave me some comments and let me know what y'all think. And did I do a good job? You know, um, with showing y'all and giving my thoughts, showing y'all the clips and everything, giving y'all the thoughts. So let me know what y'all think. Okay. I've been up here talking to y'all for about 50 minutes now. And I think your girl's gonna go and chill out and relax. And let Ginger Snaps get some rest for the night. And I definitely will, you know, you see y'all again probably by the end of the week and do my the do this all over again with the next review for episode 9. So uh thank y'all for listening and y'all have a wonderful night. Okay, take care, y'all. Love y'all.